Yes, mate. Basically, yeah. This video is going to be how to deal with the police. And it's going to be the police in general and just general observations, my opinions, and yeah. And the title is not going to be one of those misleading clickbait titles where you click on the video and then it's just some cunt like standing in a pissing rain with a police officer arguing the toss about a parking ticket, talking about whether he should and shouldn't not gotten a parking ticket or not. What I'm trying to say is this is just going to be an overall general opinion of how you should deal with the police and what you should do when you come into contact with the police. Now, what's inspired me to make this video, yeah, is basically I'm seeing a lot of negativity when it comes to the police. And I don't understand certain ways of thinking, right? Now, I'm not perfect, yeah, and that is why I feel I can talk and I can speak, because I've seen both sides of the story. I've sat both sides of the fence, being on the good side and on the bad side of the police. And I see videos as well that go viral, and it's just people that just straight away just get their phone out, start filming, walk up to a police officer, what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing this, blah, 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 without any regard as to why they've stopped someone. Now, I've said this in my other video regarding searching when you're coming into a venue from a security point of view, but from a policing point of view, it's a completely different kettle of fish. Now, for those of you that are watching now, which you are, like, I'm just going to warn you, this may be a very long video. So I may take a little bit long to explain something, but just stay with me. But I want to break it down so it's broken down rather than just a general sweeping statement. First things first, let's clear something up here. When you're dealing with the police, if you ever come into contact with the police, don't be rude, mate. Just don't be rude. Like, that's with anyone in life. If you come into contact with any person in life, don't be fucking rude. Like, there's no need to be rude. And I'm not just going to give one-sided biased opinion, because I'm going to cater for the people who then say to me, yeah, but I've been stopped by the police before, or yeah, but my mate was involved with the police and they done this to him. Oh yeah, but I had this happen with the police and they didn't do this. Not every fucking person is the same, mate. Like, literally, not every fucking person is the same. All police officers all have to follow the same laws, but you could have about 30 different police officers, yeah, all deal with the same crime, and each one of those will deal with it differently. Some will throw the book at you, some will be really relaxed, some will, like, give you a fine, some will arrest you. From the outset, the word police, yeah, and the whole term of policing, it's the management, yeah, upholding the law for anyone that wants to get technical, but it's just management. It's just, if something goes wrong, they're the people that deal with it. If someone, like, does something bad, because you know how I feel about good and bad, I don't think there's such a thing. But the point of this argument, if someone does something bad, then they're the people that deal with it, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is, from the first off, as soon as you meet a police officer, or if you come into contact with the police, yeah, then it's a respect thing. Straight off, just be polite, just be pleasant. You don't even have to say anything. Like, just don't say anything. In fact, if you've got nothing nice to say, then don't fucking say anything at all. Like, literally. If a police officer comes up to you, or you're in contact with the police, or whatever, yeah, don't fucking say anything. If they're stopping you, or if they're dealing with something, don't fucking say nothing. Just don't say nothing. I digressed again. But what I was saying is the whole role of a police officer. They want to be big. Like, no, not like that, but like, they're there to, like, uphold the law. They are power, like, they are it. Like, whether rightly or wrongly, whether you want to agree with it or not, they're the ones that are going to fuck you up. Like, whether you want to fight them, no matter what you say, they can still nick you. Doesn't matter what you say. I can get out of this, I've done that. Doesn't matter what you say, you can still get nicked. Anyone can get nicked. So it's just a respect thing. So if you're respectful, then that's it, mate. That softens them up straight away, like completely. Even if they don't show it, that softens them up. Like literally, that will soften them up. It's straight away, it's a respect thing. If you're straight away on the defensive, oh, you can't be stopping me, I'm not giving you my name, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that. You're asking for trouble, mate. You're asking to get arrested. That means they're just going to find any little thing to get at you. Whether that's right or wrong is a matter of opinion, but that means they're going to find any little thing to get at you for them to keep you longer than they should do. Secondly, yeah, if you come into contact with the police and you're innocent, don't make a fucking fuss. Don't resist the police. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a prick. Don't be a cunt. Like literally, I said this in my last fucking long ass rant. Just don't be a cunt. Like, I hate when I see people that are innocent, like so many times at work, you get people that they say they're generally innocent, yeah? And like when you actually search them or the police come and search them, like they don't have nothing on them. So they could have walked away, but because they've gotten mouthy, they've created a situation for themselves, which then leads them into a dark hole and they end up getting arrested. Again, rightly or wrongly, it's a matter of opinion, but they end up getting nicked because you've given it all that. And sometimes police officers just wouldn't want to teach you a lesson. Don't fucking try and go against the authority to try and prove a point because you're the only person that's going to get hurt. Don't try and go against people that have got authority. Don't do it. Like, just don't do it. You're not going to win. Like, you're not going to fucking win. Not on the street anyway. Like, if you're innocent and someone's arrested you wrongly or a police officer does do something wrong, they can get into trouble. Like, whether you want to believe that or not, like, police officers can't just go around hurting people. Well, not in England anyway. In some other countries, they do that all the time. But in England, mainly is what I'm talking about. Like, you can negotiate. You generally can negotiate. Like literally, fair enough if you live in an area where the police are cunts to everyone and you've got a rough, like a high crime rate, so they're going to be strict with everyone. But like most people, you can negotiate. Like most police officers, you can negotiate in England. I've never had an experience where there's been a situation that I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm going to die. Like I can't negotiate. And like, for example, yeah, hold on, wait, let me just smoke a bit of the zoo. And for example, yeah, just like I said, some areas, the police will just stop and search anyone because of that area. Rightly or wrongly, it depends on what you've seen and like how it's happened. But the point is, me personally, and being black, yeah, I've been arrested many, many times. I've broken the law many, many times. I've even been caught red-handed many, many times, like literally. But I've never been pepper sprayed. I've never been pinned to the ground. I've never been kicked. I've never been punched. I've never been tasered. I've never been shot. Why? Because if a police officer tells me, hey, stop, can I speak to you? I turn around and say, what's wrong? If a police officer says, what's your name? Guess what? I give them my name. If they say, what's your address? Guess what? I give them my address. If a police officer tells me, you know, you're under arrest, well, shit, let's go. I'm under arrest then. It doesn't mean I'm a bumlick. It doesn't mean I'm a kiss ass. It just means I'm smart. It just means I'm not going to get charged with a load of offences I don't need to be charged with. Should I start spitting at the police? Should I start swearing at the police? Should I start resisting the police? Should I start saying, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that? Start debating my innocence in the middle of the street like it's going to change anything? I'm just going to get public order offences. I'm going to get potential assault on police. I'm going to get resist arrest. I'm going to get breach of the peace. Do you know what I mean? Potentially afraid. The point is, guilty or innocent, just get the fuck on with it. Like, get the fuck on with it. Sometimes police officers will abuse their powers, and it is okay to challenge that. Sometimes police officers are bad. Sometimes police officers are harsh. I know that there are going to be some people that are going to watch this and are going to be like, no, that's a load of bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. And that's fair enough. You're going to be one of those people that are on the news dead or trying to claim compensation for excessive force. The point is, if you keep out of their way and you don't say shit, you're never going to come into contact with the police. I've been out of trouble for 2 years. And I've never seen a police officer, apart from unless I'm at work. I don't come into contact with the police. I don't have police officers kicking down my door. I don't have police officers knocking on my door. I don't have police officers trying to find me in the street. I don't have warrants for my arrest. My photograph is not in a police station. And I've been like that for coming 2 years now. Why? Because I just do as I'm fucking told. I just go along with the flow, mate. You got to play them at their own game, mate. You got to play them at their own game. There is no point fighting a force that is there to deal with the people who specifically fight the force. Like, there's no point. Like, that is their job. Their job is to arrest you. Like, that is their job. Like, to put it bluntly, yes, they do other things and other great things, which I'm going to move on to, but their job is to nick people that have broken the law. So if you're not doing nothing wrong, or you're not obviously doing nothing wrong, then there's no reason for them to come after you. Like, there's no reason at all. I want to move on. I want to move on to the people that say fuck the police. The bitch ass basic statement, mate. When people see the police in the street, fuck the police. That's the most dumbest thing. Like, literally, for starters, yeah, there's a system. The police are not that system, believe it or not. The police are far from the system. If it was purely down to the police, I think the world would be a better place, because it would just be a case of people just cleaning up the streets and only going where they need to go. They wouldn't be getting involved in people's business. If it was entirely down to the police, I believe that it wouldn't be as how it is now. It really wouldn't. It would be stricter, but then at the same time, there'll be no red tapes. All of this bullshit where you see police officers that have to go through so much shit, or you hear about crazy people on the news. None of that would happen, because it would just be straight away. But because of red tape from the government and other systems and other organisations and agencies which control the police, so they're just foot soldiers. They're not anybody. So why the fuck would you say fuck the police? That's such a pointless statement. They're just the people at the bottom, mate. They're at the bottom of the food chain, like, literally. In terms of the people, they've got authority. But in terms of other government agencies that have control and power in terms of detecting crime and intelligence and terrorism and all that shit, there are some serious people out there. And those same people, yeah, that say fuck the police and hate the police and say you're disgusting, you're dirty, how do you sleep at night? Like, they've done like a million other jobs, like hundreds of other jobs since what you've said and before what you said. Like, from what you've seen of that incident, you might see them arrest some random person unfairly, what appears to be unfairly, and they might taser them or pepper spray them, and it goes viral and everyone's like, that's outrageous. But how many murderers have they caught? How many people how many car accidents have they stopped or had to deal with? How many people have they delivered death messages to? Like, it isn't easy to be a copper. Like, people just think like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, we'll say all this shit about the police when they do something wrong, but they don't realise how much good they go through. Like, how much good that they've done, but how much shit they've had to go through in order to get the good done. Like, there's good and bad parts of each thing, is what I'm trying to say. And also, another little side note, those people that slag off the police, if your family member was injured or hurt or whatever, or was killed, or something drastic happened to them, unless you're in the mafia and you don't have the resources to deal with it yourself, you would rely on the police to deal with it. So, like, do you know what I mean? Just because you see them do one thing that you don't agree with, doesn't mean you should just say, right, yeah, fuck the police. Like, sometimes certain police officers are bad. Certain countries, America, they just fucking shoot people and use excessive force. But in England, there's no reason for people to hate the police. We have literally the best police force in the world. Like, literally in the world. Like, there's no police that I know that you could do. Like, there's so much shit I've seen people do to the police. And in other countries, like, that I've been to, that I've been in departments, and I've worked out in other countries with police officers. Like, actually with real life police officers in live settings, and they would just beat you if you even said anything bad to them. Like, let alone being able to swear at a police officer and debate your rights and say that you're, do you know what I mean? Like, in some countries here, if a police officer says you've done it, you've done it. Like, there's none of this, oh, but I was just doing this, and oh, you're a fucking pig, and all. You would be shot in the head, like, literally in the face. Like, you would be shot. Like, oh, mate, you don't know how lucky you are. The fact that you can even badmouth a police officer, like, literally, that in itself is a privilege. Like, literally, fucking. Now, some people, yeah, would still hate the police and not understand what I've said at all. They'll still think it's a piece of shit, still think it's corrupt, not understand that they're not the final say. They do not make the law, even though they uphold the law. Because if you're used to police officers stopping and searching you all the time, or you live in an area, for example, London, like, my cousin lives in London and he's used to seeing people get stopped and searched all the time. And people that live in London, you're used to seeing people get stopped and searched. Like Southampton, there's a lot of CCTV. They're the most watched country, or one of the watched most cities in Europe. Not country, city in Europe. So, yeah, if you're used to the police just being up your arse all the time, you will begin to get pissed off by the police. But then at the same time, if you don't do anything wrong and you just answer whatever questions they want to ask you, then that's it. Because as I said, most of the time it's just a respect thing. It's just a, what are you doing? Don't then say, you don't have a right to know what I'm doing. Just fucking answer what you're doing, mate. If you're not doing nothing wrong, then you just answer it. And then you can just be on your way. They'll be like, all right, okay, where are you going? I'm going to the shop. All right, okay, see ya. All right then, bye. And then walk on, mate. That's it. Like, it's literally as simple as that. But as soon as you start getting aggy, then they think you got something to hide, blah, blah, blah. They can start making up trumped up charges, which may or may not have happened. And yeah. And then coming back with another counteracting point, which some people would still say, like, yeah, but they're cunts, because even if you do follow them, and even if you do as everything you're asked, they can still be out of order to you. They'll still treat you like dirt. And that is wrong. I'm not saying that that is right. Not that it's wrong. I don't agree with it, should I say. It's a better term for me to use. I don't agree with that. But seeing it from the policing point of view, from the police side, like, if they've got people, if you're in an area that's high crime, yeah, and you've got people that are breaking into houses that look the same way, yes, that can be considered as racism or stereotyping, but, like, do you know what I mean? Like, at the same time, if you do let that person go, for example, yeah, let me just use myself an example, because I don't give a shit. If there was a guy, yeah, that looked like me, a black guy that looked like me, yeah, dressed in what I'm wearing, right? Which is quite a stereotypical common example, actually. So that's probably happened to lots of black kids. But yeah, like, there's a guy, yeah, and he's black, and like, he matches the description. In fact, no, he doesn't even need to be black, because that's just out and out racist. Like, I'm trying not to think too much from a policeman's point of view and think from both sides. The point what I'm trying to make is, if there's a guy that matches the description and they stop and search them, or even if they don't match the description, they've just got a hunch that they look dodgy, yeah, which is quite a common thing. You look off, yeah, which is not reasonable grounds, but police officers still use it as reasonable grounds. Oh, they look dodgy. It's much better for them to search the dodgy person. If you look dodgy, then you just look dodgy. Don't take it as a fucking personal. Have a chat to them, prove that you're not dodgy, and get a good bit of banter. Say, no, you know, I'm just doing this, I'm just chilling, blah, 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 blah. Don't be up on the defensive, because that just confirms their suspicions. That may not be the case. You may just be pissed off that you've been stopped and searched. But at the same time, from their point of view, that just looks like a suspect getting like he's been caught out. And at the same time, what I'm trying to say is, if they were to let you go, or to let someone go that looked dodgy, and they then go and hurt someone, or they broke into someone's house, or they committed a crime or whatever, then everyone would then say, oh, well, how has this happened, blah, 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 or someone else will be affected by their actions, which then the police would have to deal with anyway. And I'm like this in my job with security. It's much about prevention rather than it is in reaction. I'd rather stop something before it happens. So I'd rather piss someone off and say, you're not coming in because you look weird, than rather than think, oh no, I'm not going to offend them because through fear of everyone saying that I'm being horrible, and let them in and then they go and hurt someone or do something stupid within the venue, and I've got a bigger situation to deal with. It's a conflict of interest with policing and security, so I never like to give examples of the two because they're completely different and there's different laws governing. The police have a lot more power. If they ask you to do something, then whether you want to do it or not, they have the power to force you to do it, whereas security don't always have that power. I've gone on and on and on, and I probably haven't even said what I wanted to get out, but hopefully I have got a few decent points out. And the point is, just don't be a cunt, keep your head down, and you'll be fine. Like, literally. Just be like polite, nice, and don't be rude. Like literally, don't be rude. And also, yeah, one more thing I want to say: if you get nicked and you go custody, yeah, like I don't know how many people that have been arrested. It might just be me. Like it's not just me, but like I speak quite openly about it. I don't brag about it, but it is what it is. But yeah, if you go custody, yeah, a little tip for you, yeah, don't fucking be rude to the custody sergeant, yeah. Fucking fair enough if you've had a bad rapport with the officers that first have arrested you, yeah. But as soon as you get through that custody building, mate, that sergeant, yeah, he's responsible or she's responsible for everything that happens to you. Like literally your food, your water, your medical care, everything. Your processes, where you sleep, your bedding, everything. Like how many hot drinks you get, like everything. Like literally how long you're held in custody for. The last thing you want to do is piss them off. So when you go into custody, mate, regardless of what's happened, regardless if you've like been rude to the officers, regardless if you've had a fight with the officers, if you're nasty to that custody sergeant, they've got to deal with you for the next 24 hours. So as far as they're concerned, they've got to deal with you as a fresh person because they've already had people that have come through the door. So they've just got to deal with you in custody. They're not really worried about what's happened out on the street. The point is, be nice, be polite, be cooperative, be friendly, be happy, be nice, just be chilled. Like literally be chilled. You can get so much in custody, yeah. Like literally you can get so much just through good manners. Like I'm not even lying. You can get food, you can get drinks, you can get cigarette break, you can get yard time, you can get a shower, you can get spare change of clothes. Like this is just in police custody. It's not even in prison, mate. This is in police custody. You can get so much offered to you. Like literally, I'm being serious. You can get so much offered to you. I even got a fucking train fare home, mate. I got a train warrant home. Fucking traveling over 10 miles, mate, on a train, free. From the police, a police train ticket, mate. Like literally, that's how much you can get. Like fair enough, it doesn't always happen, and as I say, you have to be polite. But yeah, I'm being serious. You can get so much out of them. Like they can do a lot for you. They can help you and make it as comfortable as possible. They don't need to be a cunt to you. They don't need to be horrible to you. Like yes, you've done something wrong, but that's it. You've done something wrong. They can sort it out. They don't need to be horrible to you. They don't need to rub salt into the. I'll get tongue twisted, I'll get very passionate, but they don't need to be a cunt to you and rub salt into the wounds, is what I was trying to say. Like, literally, they don't need to do that. Like, literally, they don't need to. Like, why do they need to? Like, regardless if they're there or not, they're there. You're there or not, they're there, and they're getting paid to be there. So they don't need, they're getting what they need. This is their job. They like their job. They want to be there. Well, some do, some don't. But yeah, they want to be there, and that's it. Be nice to the custody sergeant, mate. Always be nice to the custody sergeant. Think TCP Entertainment. Be nice to the custody sergeant. Be polite. Know your rights, mate. Fuck that. Be polite and be smart. Yeah, that's a new one. Hashtag that, mate. Like, literally, be polite, be smart. Stay calm, stay smart. Like, literally. Get all these hashtagging, mate. Like, literally. I don't even have, like, a hashtag platform. Like a social media platform to get a hashtag in. But yeah, literally, fucking if you feel it, comment in the comments. Hashtag stay calm, stay smart. But like literally, that is it. That is it. Like none of this fucking asking for ID, asking for this, asking for that. It's very rare, as I say, unless you're in the mafia or you've pissed some serious people off where they have resources to fake police officers or have corrupt police officers. No police officer is just going to randomly pretend to be a policeman and just dress up and like call through on the radio and stop and search you. No one's going to do that. So don't be like, oh, let me see your ID. They're clearly a fucking policeman. If they got out a fucking police car, as I said, unless you've pissed off some serious people and someone's trying to set you up and you've committed some massive government fraud scheme, then no one's gonna, why would they go to that lengths to fucking set you up? They wouldn't. They just wouldn't do it. So if a police officer comes up to you that clearly looks like a police officer, then why fucking question it? Just fucking go with it, mate. Don't fucking be rude, mate. Stay calm, stay smart. Stay polite, stay smart, mate. Fucking... Anyway, you got a little bit of taste of my old channel because this is what I used to do. Just pick topics that I thought passionately about and just rant about them. But yeah. Fucking who gives a shit, mate? This is me, just my opinion. I'm just putting it out there. My advice from my own experiences, take it or leave it. Some people will take it, some people will leave it, some take bits and pieces. Some people will just completely ignore it. Some people just think I'm talking complete shit because, again, they just don't want to like the police, and that's fine because you just get nicked all the time. So enjoy fucking no food in the cells and no hot drinks and no blankets and pillows, mate. And enjoy having no train ride home. and enjoy being harassed all the time because you've been put down on the system as being a complete cunt to police officers. Oh god. Anyway, fucking yes, mate. I'm all good. I'm on good vibes. I'm all a bit quirky and a bit scatty. I hope I fucking put my point across and I haven't just been rambling, but I felt a bit passionate. And yeah, and it's very cold in here, so I'm kind of shivering. So I'm a bit like trying to speak, but I'm really cold. But yeah, anyway, fucking I've got bonfires coming up, so I'll be working soon. And I've got a minding job coming up as well, so yeah, that'll be all good. And I've got to get my suits ready, so I'll probably do that at some point. I've needed to do that for a long time, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If it's just to take the piss out of how much I get worked up over things. This is some fucking good weed, mate. Sorry, got a bit carried away. I might even roll another one after this, to be fair. I've got so many fucking, and I've got blues as well, look. I fucking run out, and now I've got more. Top. I smoked 35 zoots. Wait. Oh, shit. Sorry. Drop the camera. 35. Is it 35 in here? Yeah, 35 zoots in 2 days. I went for a pack of blues. I think is it 35 or is it 25 in the pack? But yeah, I went through that in 2 days. Because I judge it by how quick I go through the packs of Rizla. Like literally. Anyway, I'm just talking shit now. Just fucking the outro was coming and then I just fucking started rambling on about a load of bullshit. Anyway, stay blessed, stay lean, and peace. Hashtag stay calm, stay smart. Peace.